From the Daily Caller, very pleased to have with us Mr. Matthew Boyle. Matthew, good evening, sir.
How's it going, Cam?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing well.
We've got some new information, basically based on an appearance by Representative Issa on CBS News Face the Nation yesterday. And Representative Issa talked about a lot of things related to Fast and Furious, but one of the things he brought up was at the murder scene of Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, there are indications that there were 3 guns. You had agents actually at Brian Terry's funeral who talked about 3 guns being found, and yet a ballistics report refers to 2 guns and not a third. Now, the Justice Department has come out this afternoon, Matthew, and they've in essence given their answer here, and they say that Representative Issa basically they're accusing him of making up stuff.
Well, yeah, we've heard this one before, haven't we? I mean, that's the thing, is that they'll demagogue anybody who's asking the right questions until they go and get the answer through some other way, and then they'll say, oh, well, we've been giving you the documents all along. I mean, this is the same thing that they've been doing all along. I mean, I don't know how they can sit here with a straight face and say that the full story is out there when they labeled the 2 weapons they found at the scene, gun number 2 and gun number 3. I mean, there's clearly a missing picture here, especially when, this has come out. I mean, this has been theorized quite a bit out in the, in certain media blogosphere. I mean, people have been asking this question for a while, but for Chairman Issa to go on his first appearance on Face the Nation and make this the point of contention on that appearance, it means it's going to be a big deal. And this, no pun intended, but this is probably the smoking gun that he's looking for.
It'll be. I'm curious, and I want to get your thoughts on something else, because I don't know if you saw the story that the Competitive Enterprise Institute had put out earlier today, that apparently the Obama White House was working with a UN Global Warming Committee to hide from Freedom of Information Act requests emails between government officials and UN officials discussing a IPCC report. We've wondered
so
if
what they were doing was basically using a third party or a nonprofit or something.
Absolutely,
to do the communication so that they wouldn't be subject to FOIA. I've seen it a million times. I actually deal with this on a daily basis with the administration. They, not just the Justice Department, but every single arm of the administration does this. I mean, the Obama administration is the least transparent in the history of the United States, and this is why.
So, I wonder if we're ever going to see any smoking gun emails, because I wonder how many emails related to Fast and Furious got sent out from government employees on their personal email accounts or, on their non-governmental computers when they should have been using their .gov addresses. Instead, they went black, in essence, so that we'd never learn about this stuff.
Well, you got to realize too is that a lot of that kind of stuff where they were scheming to get around FOIA comes from after the Republicans took control of the House, because of course you don't have the mainstream media and it's pretty much in its entirety hasn't even bothered to investigate anything that the Obama administration's doing wrong. So, most of the FOIA pressure and other pressures coming from when the Republicans got the momentum and took the House. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff from the beginning of the administration all the way up through the midterm elections, they weren't even thinking about that, and they were using their government emails. Moving forward, I think they're going to be a lot more careful. But I do think that you're going to see there's going to be a smoking gun email. I really do think there's going to be a smoking gun email. I think we're going to find it. If anything, with the momentum in the recent revelations, of course, that the Attorney General was given briefings on or briefing memos about Fast and Furious, and I think that it's going to come out.
I hope so. I mean, we'll see what the 10,000 or so documents that Representative Issa has requested or subpoenaed actually will reveal. But and I know you've talked to members of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and they've told you this the same that they've told me, Matthew. A lot of what they're getting is from third-party interviews, and then they're having to basically follow up and get confirmation through these document requests because
Right,
DOJ is
exactly.
not
So
being
they'll
particularly
get a tip,
helpful.
and then the tip will point them in the right direction of what to look for, or even down to the point of exactly what to look for. I mean, they can, I think we've talked about this before. Last time I was on, which was the Democrats in the Justice Department all came out and said that the new subpoenas were overreaching and overbroad and all this stuff. No, they're pretty specific, and they're down to pretty close 2-week periods, and that's why.
Yeah, including requests for any documents or communications between Lanny Brewer, the head of the criminal division of the Department of Justice, and the former, at the time, the current U.S. ambassador to Mexico about a meeting that they may have had in Mexico City, at which Fast and Furious was discussed.
That's going to be where the smoking gun is. I think you're right, and I think you've mentioned that before to me several times, and I think you're right on there. That's where the smoking gun is going to be. Is what were they talking about surrounding that meeting?
Yeah, because it keeps popping up. That's what's so interesting to me. We heard about this very early on, and then it kind of got dropped, and then all of a sudden it popped back up to the surface. And we're talking about, I think this meeting was June of 2010. So again, right about the time that Attorney General Eric Holder started receiving these weekly briefings on Fast and Furious, the briefings that he says he never really read, and if anything untoward was happening, his staff should have pointed out, not him. I kind of wonder what was going on with this investigation in June of last year and in July of last year, that all of a sudden there did seem to be a lot more communication between higher level officials. Well, what were they talking about?
Right, and the other thing that I want to see, too, and I personally just have not had the time to dig into this yet, and I've been meaning to get to it, is that the communication between the Justice Department and other agencies. So, Miss Big Sis, as our buddy Matt Drudge likes to refer to her as, Janet Napolitano, from what I understand, she at least was involved in some kind of gun control thing along the border. And also Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was indicated in early emails in this investigation. That storyline kind of fell off as we were starting to gain more traction in the Justice Department side of the investigation.
Yeah, and, again, I kind of wonder where this is going to lead. I mean, obviously with the discussion of the U.S. ambassador, that opens up State Department inquiries. There are also, I guess, DOD requests or requests for information from DOD that Representative Issa has made.
Wow. I mean, the thing is that this just continues to get bigger and wider, and this might be, I think it was Congressman Paul Gosar, I think it was, that told me this in a story that I wrote not too long ago, that when you start having all these different departments and secretaries involved in a decision like this is something that ends up reflecting on the president, because it's a cabinet-level decision, and there are several different major people that he put in office that he appointed to those positions that are making these decisions.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
that's how you get that's how Obama will end up being involved if he is.
Yeah, I mean, again, the subpoena was for 14 communications between 14 senior-level officials, all of whom I believe are political appointees, Matthew, because you're talking about deputy attorney generals, assistant attorney generals, deputy assistant attorney generals. These aren't the career civil servants.
Right, and the thing is that if they really didn't know, why don't they just come out and give us the documents? Why don't they just go out and put them out there? I mean, that's the question that everybody just keeps asking. Why are they hiding? Why don't they just publish it? I mean, we already know that they've been lying for months now, because we now have proof that he was given briefing documents, and then the story changes, and then it changes back, and we just want the truth.
We do, and I said this earlier. It's amazing that the Justice Department has time to respond to Representative Issa's comments on Face the Nation yesterday, but they don't have time, or they don't have the ability, apparently, to answer a very easy question of who actually authorized this.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that, they make another thing that's very troubling too is that the Attorney General keeps saying that he doesn't read his briefings. I mean, I have to say, in my job, I get a few emails every day from my bosses, from people that I work with, and I have to read the emails. I have to read the briefings. And I certainly hope that our Attorney General of our country would read the briefings of the people that are around him. His experts are telling him what's important to read.
Matthew, you're among friends. You can admit you don't read Tucker Carlson's emails. It's all right. Nobody's.
I have to read Tucker Carlson's emails because he'll bring some stuff up.
He'll bring the hammer down.
You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Matt, we're out of time for this hour. But listen, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll be talking again very soon.